Welcome to Metal Diarrhea. It's our debut, uh, our debut video, and today we're going to talk about like thrash metal starters, meaning albums that basically ease you into thrash metal. And if you don't know what thrash metal is, it's basically the best thing ever in the history of forever. So my name is Foreskin Shredder, and today I'm joined by AR-15. The A stands for ass and the R stands for raper. No, it should be actually rapist, you retard. You fucking wrote rapist wrong.
Mass rapist 15. Mass rapist 15.
Yeah,
that works.
So yeah, AR-15 for short. Okay. So we've got 47 albums, 7 albums which are meant to like show you what thrash is all about, you know. When you think of thrash, you think of those albums, of that sound. And it's going to be 4 from me because I have one extra special album which is a little bit, in my opinion, not for beginners, but it also kind of is. It's a little weird, and AR-15 has 3 albums. So I'll start, and the first album we've got is Megadeth Rust in Peace. It's basically a timeless classic. On every top list of thrash metal, there's no top list of thrash metal on which you won't find Rust in Peace, and it's always very high, like top 5. And many people choose it even as the number 1, the first place. So a little bit about this album is it has a great production, great riffs, and basically great everything. And it has also a great album cover. And from the best songs are like Holy Wars, The Punishment Due, of course Tornado of Souls. I mean, Metallica. I assume Metallica is jealous of Tornado of Souls. They're like, oh man, we wish we made this song. There's also Hangar 18, which the riff is like, it's like, when you hear this riff, you will comb your pants. And Rust in Peace, the title song, is also great. So, AR, what are your thoughts on Rust in Peace?
Honestly, I'm not a Megadeth guy. Like, I know that a lot of people, and it has nothing to do with Dave Mustaine now, and he's like very kind of whiny and political. And the weird thing with the bassist, I know a lot of people like them, but I don't know, they're a bit too polished for my taste.
I understand, but the last entry on my list will, it's basically the opposite. Alright, so it's your turn.
Yeah. Well, but I will say that I do at least respect Rust in Peace, and I understand.
Okay.
So my top 3 are going to be Ride the Lightning. This might explain why I don't like Megadeth so much, but yeah. So my first choice is Ride the Lightning.
Okay. Yeah, go
well,
ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's Metallica. It's very different sounding. Metallica's never released anything else that sounds like this, ever, and they never will. And not really any other band has ever released anything like Ride the Lightning. So it's something really different, and it's just a really good album and really easy to get into because the vocals aren't too harsh and the production is weird. So, you know, it's Metallica, it's 80s Metallica, and it's easy, nice thrash that I think everyone can like. So.
Yeah, that's true. It's very, like, normie friendly. You can even, like, play it to your girlfriend or whatever. And show it off, you know, as a conversation piece. But the album is very good. I do love it. and I would add it to my list if I didn't knew you were going to. And actually, I have no Metallica albums because I try to stick to the rule like one album per band, and basically like you when you're getting into thrash metal, you can basically choose any of the first three albums. So Kill 'Em All, Master of Puppets, Ride the Lightning, or all of them are fine. You can choose them blindfolded.
Yeah, I agree. I think they're all classic, but
And,
I think Ride the Lightning has a special place.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was biased to pick it.
I mean, it has. I don't know. People don't seem to like this song, but it has Escape, which I love. And
I think it's I think it's a cool song.
yeah, and it has, of course, the title track, which is like it like rapes ass in a positive way. It makes you come blood in the best.
Yeah.
It makes you come blood, but in a good way.
No, my favorite song, though, in my opinion, has to be "Creeping Death." Because
Oh, okay, yeah,
the structure of that song.
Yeah, and the lyrics are also cool.
You know where the song. It also rapes ass, you know, which obviously I like, but as ass rape. As the ass rapist 15, you know,
Yeah.
I got my name, obviously. But yeah, no, it like obviously all through the song up until probably about 70% of the song, it just kind of breaks down and like slows down and gets super slow and heavy. So I think that was really cool.
Yeah, okay, so that's all I wanted to say. Okay, it's my next album, and
About Ride the Lightning.
yeah, about Ride the Lightning. Okay, never mind, no time. We are going in soft and short. Yeah, and the next album is actually one of my first thrash metal albums. I mean, the first thrash metal album of mine was Kill 'Em All by Metallica, and it was actually the second album I ever bought. Like the first, the first album I bought was AC/DC Higher to Hell, and I appreciate AC/DC for what they are, but uh, it's not like I would go out of my way to listen to them. But it's good boomer rock. So anyway, the next.
They helped. They're where metal came from in some sense. Like they inspired some of it, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So the next album is Testament: The New Order, and this album. Sheesh. Dude, like this fucking album, I love it. I fucking love it. It's perfect in every way. It's Testament's second studio album. And I remember the first fucking song I ever heard, and it was fucking Disciples of the Watch. Like, if you have time for just one song of each album, then when it comes to the New Order, listen to fucking Disciples of the Watch. Oh, man, it's so fucking good. And also the New Order, the title track, Trial by Fire, Into the Pit. Man, this album, this it's just it kind of reminded me of Metallica when I first heard it, and I was like, whoa, wait a second, it's exactly what I looking for, because I was searching for stuff like Metallica, and I was like stuck on a shit like Iron Maiden or Judas Priest or whatever. And by the way, I know people love Iron Maiden, but yeah, I'm kind of got bored of them. So, and anyway, I found fucking.
I think you're bored now.
Yeah, exactly. And I found fucking the New Order, and I was like, oh my! And after that, I found another great thrash band, which I'll get into later. But yeah, Testament: The New Order. fucking great album. It's basically like it's basically what a fresh in a pill. Just swallow it and then you choke and then you that's what fresh is. Nice. It's fucking nice. Okay, so AR, do you want to add anything to what I said?
Um, I'm also no. See, Megadeth maybe because Mavis name's Christian, maybe people will let that slide. But I'm also not the biggest Testament guy. I do like them though. I have to say, I do listen to them. And I don't have much to add, but that is just a pretty freaking killer album, man.
Yeah, it's great. People say
I'm more of a
yeah.
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 No, go on.
Okay, I just wanted to say that people say the Legacy is the best of Testament, but I think that the New Order is the best, fucking best. Yeah, so it's now
I really
your
like
turn.
Souls of Black, but New Order is awesome. Oh, it's now my turn. Okay,
Yeah.
well, my second album pick is probably something I don't know that everyone is gonna agree with. Ride the Lightning over Kill 'Em All, but I definitely know people are gonna like this one, which is Hell Awaits by Slayer. And Hell Awaits by Slayer. I mean, it's almost an obvious choice, or I guess it's kind of obvious and it kind of isn't, because you're either expected to choose Hell Awaits or Rain and Blood.
Choosing Slayer is obvious. They part of the big four.
But the Slayer, this fucking Slayer.
We just had to have at least one Slayer album.
I mean, you know, you can't go wrong with them because they're part of the big four, and they were just kind of the most extreme out of the big four. And,
True.
You know, everyone always says this about Slayer. I think I kind of agree, which is that they didn't have the best riffs or the best drumming or the best vocals, but they were the most satanic and the most evil and the most extreme, and they just kind of went with that, and that made them really popular.
Yeah.
And they're still really good and really talented, but it's more just their whole aesthetic or vibe.
Yeah.
But what really sells Hell Awaits for me is, first of all the tracks on it are good, like from Kill Again, Necrophiliac, to the title track Hell Awaits. The intro is crazy. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. I might have to look into that. But like just the intro where it's like, I don't know, I think it's supposed to be demons, like kind of like, you know, like growling or something. And I think they're saying something in Latin. But it's like, and that part, and then it cuts to the drums and the guitar slowly. Like, it's just a crazy album. And the riff on Necrophiliac. But the reason I guess I would choose this over probably Rain and Blood is just because of the production quality and how raw it sounded. Like, I'm always a big fan of bad production quality or low quality production, and just that kind of like old 80s sound. And I think this really has that. Like, you can really hear the drums and the vocals. I honestly like the vocals more on this than on Rain and Blood. I think Rain and Blood, although it's a classic album, Angel of Death and Raining Blood are great. I don't know, I really like Hell Awaits, and I think I like more songs, and I just like the 80s sound on this one more, the classic sound. And the cover, I mean, you can't not talk about the cover art. I can't talk about the cover art on Ride the Lightning. But the cover art on Hell Awaits is like, I think if you were born in the 80s and you saw this album come out on record, on like a vinyl, like I don't think you could resist buying it. Like, you know, I don't know. I think the cover art is so cool.
Yeah, honestly, I really like this album, but I wouldn't choose Hell Awaits nor Rain and Blood. Because this is list for people who are getting into Thrash, I would choose Season in the Abyss. Because it's like I think it had the most sales. And it has the title track, which is like super normie friendly. I only would choose Season of the Abyss because it's so normie friendly. But it's still great Thrash, don't get me wrong. And yeah, that's all I wanted to add.
I guess I can kind of see where that comes from because Seasons in the Abyss. I guess it is easier for people to get into, but I feel like I don't know that '80s. I feel like it's a bit almost less harsh than Rain and Blood. So
Yeah.
maybe
Sure.
you know. I see.
So anyway, it's my turn, and I've got something exotic. I don't think you expected this before we shared our list. I mean, you know my list, and I know yours, but my next album is 10 Years of Decay by Overkill. And I love this album. I love Overkill, and I don't know why I've gotten into Overkill so late, but it's fucking great. Overkill is basically like Backstreet Boys of thrash metal. And Elimination is their everybody. Like, it's so good. You should get 10 Years of Decay just because of Elimination. It's such a good song. And Bobby Blitz, the vocalist, he's also such a good singer. He has this characteristic voice. I mean, the song is so fun. It's like, Elimination! Elimination! I screwed it up, but it's great. And the rest of the song is also great. I mean, you've got Time to Kill, Nothing to Die For, Birth of Tension, Evil Never Dies. All songs are like produced. The production is very good. The album cover is very good. The riffs are great. It's just a fun album. Just spin it and drink a beer or something. I don't know. Drink some lean because you've got to remember this is supposed to be for Zoomers. Yeah, get some lean, get a vape, and listen to Overkill. And actually, I don't like vapes. I prefer ciggies. I mean, I don't smoke, but
And
I
Monster.
would smoke ciggies. Yeah, but get some lean and and listen to Overkill.
And White Monster. Monster Energy Ultra. This is the most important part.
Yeah. Anything you want
I
to
have
add?
to say, I agree with your choice like full-heartedly because honestly,
you do.
Overkill is such a it's a good thrash band and the album Years of Decay is such a classic.
It's 10 years of Decay.
Literally, I think you kind of said it all. Elimination.
Yeah. It's such a good song. I love it.
Elimination.
Elimination.
Dude, come on.
And the
I
way
don't
he
track
like
also good.
sings that second elimination in the verse, it's like elimination. It's fucking great. I was torn between this and Horoscope. Horoscope is also fucking great, but you know, Horoscope, despite having great songs, doesn't have fucking Elimination. So 10 Years of Decay it is. Okay, it's now your turn.
I think this album. No, you can talk. I think this album, though, like it's between this one and Horoscope, but I feel like I would have chosen this one as well.
Elimination.
So, and also to give credit where it's due, if I can talk about Slayer's cover art, this album's cover art is so cool.
Yeah, it is.
I do always hate talking about Overkill's cover art though, because there's always like that one guy who's like, put Event Sevenfold, you know, the skull and the wing logo. I hate that guy. Whoever that guy is, I hate that guy. But this album art, it's crazy. And I love the colors.
Yeah.
And the name too. I mean, the name of the album, of the band, of the Elimination. It's just everything is so 80s thrash.
Yeah, and they named the band after a Motorhead song. How cool is that? I love Motorhead, by the way.
Know,
we love fucking Motorhead.
I mean, how many
Metal Diarrhea is a die-hard Motorhead fan channel, right? We love Motorhead. Period.
For Motorhead enthusiasts. No, how many bands that got their name from like Motorhead songs? 'Cause I know there's like a punk band, Bad Religion, that came from a Motorhead song. So it's like, I don't know, Motorhead's just that good. So,
It is.
obviously.
Okay, so
All right, I think it's
what's your
my
third?
album. My third and final album is probably like when I chose it, I thought it was like, this is such a classic one, but and it is. And I know I keep saying classic a lot, but I don't know that everyone would probably think about this on a top like 7 or a top 10, whatever, top X thrash list. But I chose Thrash Zone by DRI. And honestly, I think that the reason that I chose this album was because I'm a big fan of crossover thrash. That is probably either my favorite or one of my favorite. You know, it's between crossover and death thrash. One of my favorite micro genres or subgenres of thrash. And I think DRI really just embodies that sort of crossover thrash perfectly, and they helped begin it. Because I know people will probably have chosen like Anthrax, anything by Anthrax, Among the Living, Madhouse, any of that, but I really loved Thrash Zone. And, you know, they have like Beneath the Wheel, which is a slow song. The title track, Thrash Zone, is a perfect song to get you into the album. And the entire album is great. I think there's one song even about gun control, which is always kind of silly when I hear punk bands. Like when you look at the punk singers and like you listen to the way that they sing, and then you look at the lyrics and they're singing about veganism and about like gun control. I don't know. I always find that kind of funny. I always find that kind of funny.
Yeah,
but yeah,
they look like they would
also,
rob you in a dark alley with a knife, and they didn't sing about having gun control and
tofu. No, I know. It's like, what are you gonna rob me with, like a knife? And they're like, they're gonna steal my tofu or something, or my money so you can buy some tofu salad. It's just like, I don't know. I love it. I think it's great. I was gonna say something about the cover art, but I guess before that, I just want to say that the sound of the album is so good. It's like, it's just perfect. I'm not the biggest Suicidal Tendencies fan, so I definitely am a bigger DRI guy, and I think they really, the sound in this album, the guitars, and the vocals, everything perfectly embodies crossover thrash. And then obviously, if I have to talk about cover art, I'm going to talk about this cover art, which is just, it's so crossover thrash. I don't know how else to put it. Like, the hazard sign with the guy thrashing, and then all the you know what's going on, and like the yellow color scheme, and all the guys kind of like you got the punk and the metalhead. It's so stupid, and I love it. It couldn't be better. Like while Slayer had their sort of scary thing going on, where you're like falling into the pits of hell and you see the demons in the fire. This is just kind of that stupid little silly little. I guess that's what. I don't know if you have anything to add.
Just that it's a great album and a great band. Okay, so those were like the 6 albums which are supposed to get you into thrash, so we can like know what even thrash is, how it sounds. And we've got something special for you. We've got a 7th album, which I don't know if I would say it's for beginners. I don't know if I would say it's for people who are new to the genre. I mean, it kind of is, like, but it isn't.
Listen to the first 6.
Yeah, like, listen to this after you listen to 1 or 2 of the previous albums we mentioned. Because on all of the albums we mentioned before, except maybe Hell Awaits, I mean, it was good. The production is stellar. And here, not so much, but let me get this straight. I love a kind of bad production. I love the raw sound. I love when it sounds quote-unquote shit. I love when a guitar and the bass sound like they were recorded on a copper wire inside a fucking submarine. I love that shit. And the album cover reflects that. And without further ado, the seventh album, it's Exodus Bounded by Blood. And I fucking love this shit. It's like it's like this album is like the embodiment of thrash. At least I think so. It's the thrashiest thrash album I know. It has the raw sound. It has the ferocious like guitar riffs and shit. And even the vocalist is kind of shit sounding. I mean, Paul Bailiff has a very unique way of singing. It's basically like, I don't know, a schizophrenic homeless guy who is shit-faced drunk. He's like, I love it. And just listen to Strike of the Beast and Bounded by Blood and then the rest of the album. Like, it's great. It's fucking awesome. It's great to get drunk to. Mwah. You didn't see this, but I just kissed my copy of Bounded by Blood because I have them. Yeah.
You and your CDs.
Yeah, you're a vinyl fag.
Well, I have to say, come on, there's so much more art you have to.
Okay. I was just
experience. I never actually done it, but I
yanking your chains.
Cleaning the disc and.
Yeah. So
but yeah, so Bonded by Blood, dude, it's Exodus.
It's Exodus.
There should be no more to say to that. There should be no other reason.
Remember that people don't know who Exodus are. Yeah, so explain what the
I was gonna say. It's like if you're a beginner, you don't know Exodus. But it's Exodus, man. Obviously, I think you might have said this once, but it's like I always love the bad production quality, and I always love the '80s sound, like that '80s thrash. And this, talk about Helloids, talk about Sodom. What was their first Sodom album?
The first one was Obsessed by Cruelty. Yeah.
Obsessed by Cruelty.
But I guess you were thinking about Persecution Mania.
Persecution Mania, exactly. It's like you can talk about all those albums, but this like really embodies that. Obviously the title track is great, and that's probably like my favorite one from the song. But I really like I also really like Strike of the Beast, and I guess probably one of the best parts about this album, other than the cover art, other than like the riffs and everything, it's the vocals.
Yeah, Paul Bailiff.
In every sense of the word, they're crazy good, crazy. I don't know what Paul Bailiff thought he was doing, but it was a masterpiece.
Yeah.
And then obviously the cover art. I have to say, I thought it was gross at first. Like I didn't understand. What are those Siamese twins? It's like two babies conjoined from the back, and they're like covering themselves with a blanket, and they got these long black nails. And I think one of them's like smoking, and it's like, what the hell is going on?
No, there's no cigarette here. No.
Isn't there smoking?
No smoking here.
Doing something good.
I don't know.
Well, whatever it is that the
one baby is like.
Oh no, it's not smoking. Sorry, he's like grabbing a claw.
Yeah.
And then the other one is just kind of like he wants to get away from the other baby. And then the text on the album is also really cool. Just the way they incorporated the.
Yeah, and I just want to say that when we say bad production, we actually like it. It isn't actually bad. Like we love this shit. So
I guess that's why I like to say low quality, because like bad production usually refers to like AC/DC Back in Black, right? Or like something that
Metallica, Saint Anger. That's like shit production. I hate it. I guess Metallica, we should say raw sound instead of bad production. Yeah, it has a raw production inside.
Yeah, raw sound. Because like Kill 'Em All has a raw production.
Yeah, it has.
That's a good example.
Yeah. So I love raw productions.
So
I love
guess
this. Yeah. So
But yeah, I think it really. And even if you don't want to listen to the whole album, just listen. But like just listening to Bonded by Blood, it is automatically gonna make you. That's happened to me before. I listened to one song from an album, and I'm like, I have to listen to the entire thing. I need more of this.
Yeah.
So I think that happened to me with Bonded by Blood because you had recommended it, and I was like, not really. The cover art is weird. And I listened to Bonded by Blood, and I'm like, okay, that definitely have to. This is crazy. So it's one of those moments.
Yeah, so and that's everything from Metal Diarrhea. I don't know what should we do next. Maybe we should do like essential albums to your collection if you start collecting albums. Like
Like
albums that every collection has to have. Maybe you should do that and we go 5 each.
So.
Or 10. No, 5, because, Yeah.
Well, we can see. I think this was a good part.
Yeah, that was fun.
For our debut. Debut self-titled.
Yes.
I also just noticed that we had 7 albums that you have to listen to, like the 7 Evil X's from Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Oh, shut the fuck up! But that movie is so fucking gay.
I hate that. It's so bad, and it's so bad. But I don't know why that's what I thought about.
Oh man, like come on. Couldn't you just say one album for every day of the week or something? Like, oh, jeez.
I was fine with 6 because it was like we could have 3 people have 6 albums. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I really wanted to add Bounded by Blood. I just love it. Okay, so yeah, I'm Foreskin Shredder, and I was joined today by
I'm Ass Rapist 15,
AR15, and this is Metal Diarrhea. Thank you for watching, and leave a comment below. Subscribe, because we're going to do more of this bullshit. And just like Bounded by Blood, we're going to have a raw production. And like the video, and see you again. See ya. Say something to the nice folks behind the screen, AR.
If you don't like the video and share and comment, you will literally be constipated and have metal diarrhea.